Okay, I'm about to make apple cake. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour 3 cups of flour into my sifter. Okay, yep, I'm pour 3 cups of flour into my sifter. Then what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Make a little room for it. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. One teaspoon of baking soda. One half of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Two teaspoons of cinnamon. Then I'm just going to sift this together. Then in a separate bowl, in a separate bowl, I'm going to add 1/2 of a cup of brown sugar. I'm using dark brown sugar. That's just my preference. But 1/2 of a cup of packed dark brown sugar. 1 1/2 cups of granulated sugar, just white sugar. That's 1 1/2 cups of white sugar. Then I'm going to add 1 1/2 cups of vegetable oil. To this bowl. One and a half cups of vegetable oil. Okay, so now I'm just gonna combine it. I'm gonna use my spoon to just combine all the sugars. And incorporate all the sugars together. And make sure there's no lumps. Make sure there's no lumps at all. Should look like applesauce. Yep. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 2 teaspoons of my homemade vanilla extract. And then 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt. Then I'm just going to incorporate that. Now I'm going to add 3 eggs, 1 egg at a time. My first egg. Add my first egg. Then I'm going to incorporate that. Make sure that the yolk is broken and incorporate it. Add my second egg. I'm going to incorporate that. Incorporate that. And once that's incorporated, I'm going to start adding my dry ingredients to it. So I'm going to start adding my dry ingredient gradually. Start gradually adding my dry ingredients to it. Very slowly and very gradually. A little bit at a time. Very slowly. As I said, very gradually. And I'm gonna do this until the batter is pretty much taken it, gone, and it's pulled everything off the side of the bowl. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 3 apples, which I've sliced, pitted, and cored. Now, when you want to slice the apples for this, you just take them, put them side by side like this, slice them like this. Just to try to get them like a medium size. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these apples, I'm gonna dump them in. This is for Cortland apples. I recommend Cortland or Red Delicious. So I'm gonna take these apples and I'm gonna fold them into the dough by hand like this. Just like this. Fold them into the dough just like that until it's evenly distributed throughout the cake batter. Yep, you want to evenly distribute all the cake batter, the apples throughout the cake batter, and you can only do that by hand. Okay, and once I have everything in, once I have all the apples evenly distributed, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to scrape them off my hand. Scrape it off my hand with the spoon. Scrape as much as I can off. All right, and then what I'm gonna do. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my bundt cake pan. going to pour a little bit of vegetable oil in it into my bundt cake pan. I'm going to evenly distribute this around the pan like this. Then I'm going to sprinkle flour on my bundt cake pan. Just like this. Coat it with a very even, very generous amount of flour. Then I'm gonna start add my batter to my bundt cake pan. Evenly distribute my flour to my bundt cake pan as evenly as possible. Get as much of the batter out as I can. Get as much of the batter out as I can. Then I'm just going to smooth it out. Just like this. Even it out and smooth it out. Just like this. Then I'm going to put this in my oven that's been preheated to 350 for about, let me double check. For about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And that's your apple cake.